Hi YouTubers, just doing a quick review on the Hitachi 18V 18 gauge C1 brad nailer. Shoots anywhere from 16 to 50mm nails. Weighs about 3.6 kilos, and basically it uses a little air cylinder inside here, which is used to fire the nails. Now this is a little lock switch here, which is basically just to lock the trigger there, so if you're transporting it, it doesn't get pushed in and fire by accident or something like that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the specs on this thing, as you can just look them up pretty easily. But I wanted to go into a few details that aren't mentioned on the box or in any other reviews that I've watched. So basically, for starters, I don't know why they put a like a rafter hanging belt clip here when they could just put a normal one. It's basically it's pretty much like a trim nail, or a used for cabinetry and things like that. So yeah, this is pretty much not necessary, just pretty bulky and everything like that, but overall it does the job. So first things first, up here you got the nail jam release clip and it's basically unclip it like that, like every other nail gun. Release it. What we'll do first, actually, just release the nails out of it so they don't fly up, which they won't anyway. Alright, so just release those nails, clip them back up. Now up here, once you unclip this, if you've got a jam, you unclip this, fold it back, and you're supposed to just be able to clear your jam really easily. But this only opens up 10 to 15mm max. So that's as far as it opens right there. Bang. So if you've got a jam, which I've had a couple of jams with this, due to user error, I'll admit that. I was firing on the angle, trying to shoot into, I think it was MDF, which was laminated with Laminex, and because it's a smooth hard surface, then I would just slid along that and just jammed up into here. But if you've got 50mm nails and it jams up, so the 50mm nails come up to where my thumb is there, and it comes up into the tip here and jams up there, which is what happened to me, to get that out is a headache. It's a big headache. You got to get something sharp enough and thin enough and long enough to get in there to try and get it out, and it takes some time. So that is a big flaw, I think. For me, it's a pain, really big pain. Other than that, though, it fires really well. It's really well balanced. It is a heavy gun. It is heavy, but it's well balanced. So when you've got it in your hand like that, it sits quite comfortably. Doesn't want to lean forward or back or anything like that. It's pretty comfortable, even with the 6 amp hour battery in it. So when look, it's 3.6 kilos bare tool. So once you add the battery, it adds up a fair bit. It has little to no recoil, I can feel anyway. When I'm firing it and I'm pushing it up against a piece of wood and firing it, I don't feel any recoil at all, really. It's really smooth, which is one thing I like about this a lot. Quite powerful as well, very powerful actually. So it's a good gun. It is a really good gun. If Hitachi just fine-tuned it a little bit, tried to make it weigh a little bit less, and fix that issue up there with the jam release, it'd be an awesome gun. Absolutely awesome. Even now, if they just fix that up, it'd be still an awesome gun. I mean, yeah, some weight to it, but for the functionality, it's great. It's absolutely great. Now you got your LED light on this side just there, which is fairly bright too. You got your tool adjustment, which is right here. So it's got a lot of adjustability and lighting and things like that, which is good. I'll show you how it fires. Alright, so what you do, I'm just gonna unlock the trigger. release there. Turn it on, just down here, power button, hold that for a couple of seconds. The light will turn on, that's when you know it's on. That's just your battery indicator. And then on the other side here is for bump fire. So bump fire basically is just you hold your trigger in and you just push it down on the material and it will just fire, rather than having to push it down the material then fire with your trigger. So at the moment I've just got it in single fire, and I'm just going to fire it into some MDF, Melamine MDF. I think it's 16mm with a shelf on the other side. So that's one. Fire another one. One more. It's also got a dry fire lockout mechanism, so once you run low on nails, this here will go to a yellow colour and you won't be able to push that in and fire anymore, which is really good because you don't put any holes in your material. Yeah, so just to sum up what I think about it, it is a powerful nailer. You know, it functionality wise really good. I would love this nailer if it, for me, didn't have that issue of this jam release. I mean, if that's something that's not going to bother you and you're happy to sort of deal with it, like I said, I only had a couple of jams using it. I've used it a fair bit actually, and like I said, the only jams I had was due to user error, I guess. Firing on angles and certain materials doesn't work very well. I've used it in a few hardwoods, a lot of MDF and melamine and HMR board and stuff like that, and just it goes great. So if you're looking to get it, just keep in mind those couple of issues that I've mentioned. But other than that, I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, just like and subscribe. I'll be doing another review on the DeWalt 18V 18 gauge nailer next, so stay tuned.